Okay, hello everyone, good morning. My name is Gary Puligandla. I'm Director of Planning and Research with Homeward Trust Edmonton. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge that we are on traditional territory of Treaty Number 6, First Nations. And in recognition of that, I'd like to invite Elder Gilman Cardinal, an elder from the Big Stone Cree Nation, to come up and start us off with an opening prayer.
Thank you very much, Gary. Is it okay if an elder brings Tim Hortons coffee to the podium? I guess it's okay. Eh? I might even want something. But what an honor to be here this morning. And I welcome you to traditional territory of Treaty 6. As elders, we often share territories, and it's an honor to be here as a Treaty 8 Big Stone Cree Nation member to share the territory with you. And to thank Beverly, and who's the other nice lady that asked me? Maricon to do the blessing, the opening ceremony. And as an elder, you have to have a purpose to get up every morning. You truly do. I'm 72 years old. I'll be 73. I whisper that. 73 here in May. But I retired when I was 65, 7 years ago. And wow, what an adjustment, all of a sudden. First month was actually pretty good. I could sleep in, and I don't sleep in, so. But didn't take me very long to realize, wow, I have to make some major changes. My life has been so full every day of my life, working, trying to empower others to achieve a greater quality of life. So I started working with Homeward Trust, got on a board, and that was such a nice place to be. There's one member here that's a board member, and I was there for a long time. And I truly honor the commitment and respect to all of you, the social agencies you represent, the towns, the cities, from your heart to make life better for us, the so-called visible minorities. We often use that word. Albertans, Canadians, in all walks of life. This is something I've worked for most of my life. A better quality of life for Albertans, and more so for my First Peoples, First Nation, Métis, and Inuit. I've worked most of my life in that arena, increasing capacity for the three recognized cultures. How many of you are from out of town? I'll do a special blessing for you for a safe journey. But I just wanted to explain the eagle feather. It's so symbolic. When we pray, as much as possible, I like to use the eagle feather. And I asked an elder, I'm still learning. I'm probably the oldest elder in yours age, but not as much experience as a lot of the traditional elders. And I asked about the eagle feather. This is your life right now as we exist. This is our spiritual life, right? The grandfathers, the grandmothers that have gone, they're protecting us, they're looking after us. So the two worlds intertwine to make it possible for elders to come and give messages. And when we pray collectively to all cultures. There's a misconception often that elders only pray for Aboriginal people. It's not true. We pray for all cultures. but my first love, of course, is Aboriginal people. So when we pray East, 4 is a very significant number in our culture. The colors of humankind. We go east, that's red, Aboriginal. Firstborn, that's the child. Then we go south, that's yellow, the Asian population. That's a teenager. That gives you white hair when you're a grandpa. And others, right? And then we go west, that's the Afro-American. Often blue and black. And finally, white, that's north, that's the elder. So we pray collectively for all cultures in the universe. And it's very symbolic when you have a symposium dealing with homelessness, planning how you can best utilize your resources to lessen the impacts of homelessness, ending poverty. Just recently, last week actually, we presented an eagle feather to the mayor of Edmonton. It's one of the nicest places for an Aboriginal person to live, Edmonton. So many, this is an example of so many of you working together to make it better for Albertans. First Nations, Métis Inuit, New Canadians, all the people that struggle on a daily basis to have a better quality of life. I want to pray in my first language, which is Cree. And I'd like you to rise with me. And I'll pray to the Creator to guide you home, to work and protect you every day that you work so hard to make life better for us. Auninas komonasamina. Kotakisigaw o gitauhiak. Tasawiman togo gamana ko sa mamuin toto. Niso kamuatok tay sinim nawa. Tamyup matsit nawat. Takslohama gusto wasak. Tatos kito. Tamyuwigito. Kihtiayak panagatimato. Piyak ni nagatingonan. Doris Soto, grandmother. Nagatasku, the Nagatima to go on, Kakwichimpnan. Ninaskomon, hi, hi. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elder Gilman, for starting us off in a good way today. Just before we start our program, I'd like to invite Mufti Mathewson just to come up and tell us a little bit about the Redress project that I believe is on display outside this hall.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Elder Cardinal, for your good wishes. I know what you mean about needing to get up in the morning, but I have not had any trouble getting up in the morning for the past year. It was, how's this going? Good? How about that? In January of last year, I read one morning, as I sat around in my pajamas, the Globe and Mail, and there was a full-page ad with a red dress on the cover of that page in the forest. And it was a beautiful shot, but beside it, it said, imagine if 1,181 of your daughters never returned home, and imagine no one cared. And that last no one cared really got me, because I do care. And I sat there and I thought to myself, I care, but what can an 81-year-old do? I was younger then. What can an 81-year-old do to make this better and to show people that I care? And so I thought to myself, I'm a photographer, and I have spent 35 years doing photography. I can take pictures. I can go out and buy red dresses at the secondhand stores, and I can photograph red dresses. And then I can show them to my friends, and this can be red dress, redress. Let me read the meanings of redress. Seeking justice for torture survivors, a relief from distress, a means or a possibility of seeking a remedy, or compensation for a wrong or a loss. And I realized that I had spent a very privileged life not knowing anything about the whole situation. I didn't even go to the Truth and Reconciliation pieces that were here in Edmonton, although I heard lots about it. So I started to photograph red dresses, and I belonged to a camera club, and I put an email out there that said, or on the Facebook page, I'm going to be shooting outside my front door red dresses. Anybody want to come? Please come, and we'll do it all together. And 8 photographers came, and one had 9 red dresses. And one guy had brought a post, you know, that you can hang. I think you use it golfing, and you can put things higher or reach farther. So we have elm trees up and down our street, and so we put the red dresses up and down the street and took 8 photographers working at it. And we took amazing pictures down the ravine behind my house. And we had suddenly a whole group of people, anxious and who cared. And then more people joined, and I started to educate myself. And I read a book by John Ralston Saul called The Comeback. And the comebacks means that, Mr. Cardinal, and your tribes are coming back with huge strength. And it also told me that I'm a treaty person. You're not necessarily the only treaty person. I hadn't thought of myself. We signed the other side of the treaty. How come we weren't thinking of ourselves as treaty people? And so I began reading and learning and having people join. And then I began enlarging and putting pieces of the work up. And people invited us to conventions and to workshops like this. And it just has multiplied. At the moment, we have 181 photographs of the 1,181 on 10 big posters similar to the ones that are out there. And they are hanging in a huge display at La Cité Francophone. I don't know if you're aware of that gallery. It's the theater, Francophone Theater. And the gallery has hung those 181 pieces plus about 100 more. So that they have individual photographers have just come out of the woodwork and said, yes, I want to be part of this. And can I be friends on Facebook? So I have learned a lot about Facebook and how to be friends and all kinds of stuff like that. But I've also been touched by my learning during this piece. And if that can keep going, then I ask you, the neat part about the empty red dresses is that someone came up just last week and said, Mufti, if we've taken all these sad pictures of red dresses empty because the women are not there, why don't we have our own little comeback and fill the red dresses and all wear red dresses and we're coming back and we're strong. So that might be a whole new project for me to get up in the morning. Please join the project. There's some brochures out there, or just look up Red Dress Photography Project. This project was begun, and some of you may have seen her hanging this art installation here about 10 years ago. A woman from Winnipeg, Jamie Black, and she hung dresses around Edmonton here, I think in the engineering building. And ta-da, that was where Wen Kaufman, a local photographer, took the photograph of the red dress in the woods. It was on Saskatchewan Drive that landed up in the Globe and Mail. So join the project. We all have phones. You don't have to be a fabulous photographer. Get a red dress, take a picture of it, join the project.